What's happening? Because you know it's your boy B-Hop Radio shouting. Hey man, I got a guy that's tearing up the streets right now as we speak. Translee, what's good with it, boss?
What's happening, man? Happy to be here, man, for sure.
Hey man, appreciate you pulling up in this thing. Now Trans, I know you've been getting down just in this city for a long ass time, man. I mean, the new joint, Feed We, I had the chance to marinate on that thing. First of all, what I must say is, I love the fact that you still have stayed true to your style the whole damn time.
Yeah.
But then also you're still delivering messages and getting points across that it seems like other artists out here just skipping plain over but need to be told. Okay.
Right.
So talk to me about Feed We and what was the point of you saying, you know what, let me lay the smack down and get these folks some soul food.
Man, so shout out to my producer Todd Marshall who produced it. First of all, it's been a while since I put out music. You know what I mean? And like, I'm one of those artists that like, music is therapy to me. And generally when I put it out, it just touched the culture in like a certain type of way. So I know when I put out music, it gotta stand for something. It gotta mean something for people because people use my music for certain reasons. So I hadn't put out music in a long time. So I feel like I've been, leaving my listeners just, in like a drought. So I got so much music sitting around. I'm like, you know what? Let me just start dropping records. And like Feed We was just one of those records that I shot the video back like during the pandemic. When the people weren't even really supposed to even be like linking like that. Yeah. And just been kind of sitting on it. It's just been one of them songs where like I always said like I got plenty of music to put out, but before I put it all out, that's my reintroduction into the game. I want it to be this record just because of the things I said in it. It just encompasses everything about how I feel about a lot of stuff. So I was like, that got to be the first record. So, we just warming them up. Exactly. Feed We, produced by Todd Marshall. My boy Paul Dwayne shot the video. Like I said, we did it in the pandemic. We wasn't even supposed to be linking like that, but we linked and shot it. But yeah, it was dope.
Take me back to the top though, Trans. What was it that made you jump into this hip hop game? And then also, as far as your style is concerned, how did you figure out exactly what way did you want to go creatively with the music?
So, I mean, a lot of people don't really know my story, but I'm from Alabama, and my mom passed whenever I was 16. My God. And in that, like through that, like we didn't like go to therapy or nothing like that. Me and my sister, we didn't like, so we had to deal with it how we dealt with it. And my way of dealing with it, like I found the studio, like just started going and rapping. And me and my partner, one of my real close friends, Gerard Miller, we used to go to the studio and just record, rap about, I was probably rapping about stuff I wasn't even doing, but it was like a release, you know what I mean? And like I always was able to get that release by literally I could just talk about my day, talk about anything that was real to me. And like that's what I kind of kept on doing. And like whenever I went to college, I met my manager Chris, who you met, who just left. And we kind of organized, he had a studio, he had a label he was working on. So he was like the organization to my just madness, you know what I mean? I was just rapping, just getting off really. So fast forward to now, I'm still that same artist that I'm like, I don't even really consider myself like a rapper in the terms of like, I don't just rap about anything. Like you'll never just hear me just like, you know what I mean? Like I'm more of like a conversationalist. So it's like, it's more like that, so, and it just comes off good on beats, you know what I mean?
How the hell did you find yourself in Atlanta from Alabama though? And what was that transition like?
That's literally, if you live in Alabama, especially, like Atlanta is the holy 20, grail. Yeah, hop on 20 and you there, you know what I mean? So Atlanta was always on our mind, especially when it's blowing up, you know what I mean? And we're right down the street. It's nothing but a 3.5 hour drive.
Exactly.
So, and coming from Huntsville, Birmingham was even our like holy grail, low key, you know what I mean? Like it was big for somebody to go to Birmingham. Yeah. So coming to Atlanta was always a thing. But the story though, me and my manager, man, we used to come and like network and try to network. We used to come to this thing called the Atlanta's Music Conference, and we ended up meeting ColliPark. And this is whenever like
ColliPark.
This is when VIC Soulja Boy was.
I know popping. What you're talking about,
And me and my manager, same dude you just met. We met him, and this I can make it a long story, but I'm gonna make it a short story. We met ColliPark at a Yin Yang show at this networking conference that we used to just drive from Alabama to Atlanta to come to, and he just took a liking to us. He offered us drinks. We was like, no, we good. We wanted them, but we didn't want to take them because we felt like we would be being like unprofessional or something. Yeah. But he ended up getting some drinks and we just sitting there chopping it up. Mind you, Soulja Boy is at the top of the world. Crank Dad's at the top of the world. You know, and it's not necessarily my type of music, but you know these niggas like Jay-Z to us right now. So you know, the fact that he was sitting there chopping it up with us, and he's like, yeah, you know, y'all can come intern because we trying to get an internship. We trying to get a connection. Yeah. Meet somebody who can like let us in the game or teach us the game or whatever. Yeah. So fast forward 3 months later, we drop everything just because he said y'all can come intern. We like, okay, everything we had going on in Alabama, put our jobs, left it all, you know what I mean? And I'm making a long story short because I had actually got fired from my job, but that's a whole nother story. But it worked out perfect. It worked out perfect. So anyway, we canceled everything we had, leases and everything we had, left Alabama, came down. We hadn't even talked to them. You know what I mean? Like we talked to them that night that we met them, but we hadn't like talked to them and let them know that we was uprooting our lives from Alabama. But anyway, we came and when we got here, and they wouldn't even answer the phone at first. Like we had the office number. You know what I'm saying? We didn't even have their cell phone number. It was crazy. But they finally answered the phone, you know, and they probably was like, damn, they really came. You know what I mean? Yeah. So and you know, like we didn't know what to expect. So we just like literally jumped in the fold and just started working. They had us working VIC and J Money Records, Say Bow. Yeah. So like me and Chris, they put us on the road with VIC, like pass out CDs. Yeah. Just, you know, just do like work, you know, do work that needed to be done. Work. Yeah. And man, we made a lot out of that, like because we was coming from Alabama, and to people back home, we were superstars. Like, man, you see what they doing? They working with ColliPark. That's crazy. So, you know, but low key we doing do-boy work. You know what I mean?
I done been there.
But being a do-boy at a popping label is better than like living
in the trap back home.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So we, you know, that's kind of what gave us our introduction into the game. And then like after maybe like 6-7 months, he realized I rap. Yeah. So he's like, dang, man. He listened to one of my songs. I was just rapping, just, you know, rapping my heart out, like, you know, saying stuff that probably like not like, okay, dang, like, okay, I need to listen to what he's saying, you know what I mean? So I will never forget, we was at like Spondivis or something, me, ColliPark and Chris, and he's like, I'm gonna fuck with your shit, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like it was like one of the moments, and it's like the moment from when we met him, that was the goal, you know what I mean, was to like get him to work with us. So we started shooting videos and putting them on World Star, which was everything back then.
Exactly.
And yeah, man, like that propelled me into a space. You know what I mean? Because like here in Atlanta, that was like the J Money, Travis Porter, Stupid Fruity Swag
futuristic
era, Young LA, all of that was running everything. So it was like some dude from Alabama that's like rapping about his mom and shit like that. They didn't want to hear it. I was like Kanye. I remember that type of awkwardness of like, So, but ColliPark, you know, I was working with ColliPark, and you know, all they knew was strip club, booty shake. Yeah. So I'm in the strip club performing Does Anybody Love Anymore? Because that's all we knew to do. You know what I mean? Like literally we ran the underground, we ran anything J Money, anything anything J Nix ET was doing, open mics down at the underground, up in Marietta, Cafe Red Train, all that shit. We was doing any open mic in the city, we was doing it just because it was like, this is Atlanta, so it's like we can get any type of traction up in here.
You need it all.
We all the way good, you know what I mean? And like ColliPark was good because it was that like reinforcement, like, oh yeah, man, we we know you fuck with Smurf, you know what I mean? So they used to give me a little love, but then it wasn't a lot of love, but it was a little bit of love. You know what I mean? Because they still want you to get it for yourself.
Exactly.
But yeah, so that really was our intro to
during that time being over there
Atlanta.
with ColliPark, was you able to pick his brain and get some game from him?
Oh,
though? 'Cause
yeah.
that man's a mastermind as well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because the dope thing about them, man, they were a popping ass label, or still are, but they were very family oriented, very small. Like they had a small office. It wasn't like a big, huge operation. So even though we was interns, we was still around Smurf. Like we would walk up and we would be with Smurf. We'd pull up to the club with Smurf. We could ride with him. Like it wasn't like you gotta talk to him to talk to him. before you talk. We was like, it was a, you know what I mean? It was family. So it's like anything Smurf talking about in front of his brother Derek, we right there. We picking up all the game. You know what I mean? We learning everything, man. And shout out to my boy Shep too, because there's a dude named Michael Shep who they had that was doing marketing. And they kind of stuck us with Shep. Yeah. And we learned so much from Shep. Cause Shep is an Atlanta nigga. He from the South Side. He went to Banneker High School. Yeah. Like he taught us a lot about Atlanta. Like even just not waiting in lines. Like we finesse lines. Like he finessed everything. Like we pulled up to some of the maddest, craziest clubs, and he pulled off some of the wildest shit just off of, we worked for ColliPark Music.
Exactly.
Back then, like. We used to be like, wouldn't even have the artist with us sometime. And he sometime, like a line wrapped around the building. Fucking remember, what was it? Just any of them clubs, man, like they used to be stupid packed. He used to just figure it out. You know what I mean? Figure it out, and next thing you know, he'll come back to us like, all right, come on, y'all good. We walking straight in, straight to the VI, straight to the DJ. You know what I mean? So we learned a lot, man. We learned a whole lot from Shep and just ColliPark, man, and like, after like couple years, you know, creatively we went separate ways, because ultimately, you know, Smurf do what he do. Smurf know that yin yang, so he know that shake music. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's like at the end of the day, like you know, nigga only gonna do so much if it's not necessarily his realm. You know what I mean? So but he's still one of my like OGs, like one of my biggest mentors.
So what was that like when you slid up out of there and you was heading on your new journey, man? And I mean, you in Atlanta now. You done got the stamp from ColliPark. Everybody knows your name by this time too. So it ain't like you just underground. Folks knew who Translee was. So what was that like maneuvering in the city then?
Man, it was a little awkward because, you know, and like he wasn't like dumping money on us, but like when we needed to shoot a video or something simple like that, or like, you know, we just needed certain stuff, we was in like a partnership with him, so he would take care of it. So like whenever that was over with, you know, that was over with. You know what I mean? And like that's like go get, you know, well, you know what? We never even quit our jobs, to be honest, because that was one of the things. Like I was so fresh and new. I didn't even have artists on me. I was just a talented rapper. I didn't necessarily walk in and exude, oh, this is an artist. You know what I mean? I still have problems with that. You know what I mean? Because I'm just a regular dude. Sometimes we still go places. They be like, oh, all right, who's the artist? Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? And I be chilling, dog. Yeah. Like, but it's like when I speak, then they like, okay, but yeah. So I got lost in the story, bro.
Okay,
I got fucking.
It's
lost.
time for you to get your Translee on. You had to break the partnership with ColliPark because you say it was time for you to do what you do. However, ColliPark was coming through with some of that bread to help you make it do what it was supposed to do. Yeah. So now you say you still had your job going on at that time. How the hell were you surviving, and what was the next move from that point? Yeah,
so we never quit our jobs, because that's one thing he said, don't quit your job. So you know, because he was basically like, you know, we'll do the advance once you build up and get a little clout. You know what I mean? Then we'll do all that. So because he had to make sure that I was gonna be a real artist, you know. So you know, we put out that song, Does Anybody Love Anymore, which is the record that New Face did the painting to. Greg Street really liked it. Greg Street started playing it on the radio.
My God.
So I'm at work, still working at the job, and they playing it on the radio, you know what I mean? So, you know, I'm up in there looking around like, I ain't gonna be up in here too much longer with y'all.
Exactly.
But yeah, so during that time when we was working at the vault, we was working at the Bank of America vault when it was down on the south side, and they laid all of us off. That was 2012, and we never I ain't worked a job since, or just a regular job since. But they had laid us off, and that was around the same time when ColliPark we was kind of veering ways too. So that was just a very, very weird time of dang, okay, we just out here now, you know what I mean? But we had a little bit of status. I had a little status back in my hometown because of ColliPark. He boosted me up. It made people be like, dang, so
you can at least go home and get some bags.
Go home and get some bags, right?
Exactly.
Right.
I'm with you.
Exactly. So we was in a space of we know we doing the right thing.
Yeah.
We know we ain't just not supposed to be doing this, you know what I mean? But we were still just in a weird space. So through ColliPark and them, I met this dude named Eddie. And I ain't even gonna give everybody last names, and I ain't even gonna tell the other person full name because I'll just keep everybody's name out the story. But it's just a crazy story. But met a dude named Eddie who was a really dope singer. And
Eddie Kane?
Nah.
Forgive me.
Nah. Eddie Fontaine.
No, you ain't got to say Fontaine.
No.
I call myself being a comedian.
Nah, man, but I mean, it's not an unknown story, but I just but yeah. So met a dude named Eddie Fontaine, and through that, and one of my last projects that I put out just through Smurf and them, it was a collab project with Eddie, and he's an R&B singer. He's kind of like a classic R&B, he got a just smooth, cool voice.
Yeah.
So we did a whole project together, and put that out, and Eddie had a best friend, and his best friend, just a regular dude from the south side, you know what I'm saying, might sell a little crack every now and then, just a regular hood nigga from the south side, bro.
Yeah.
And he used to come around to the studio, just fuck with us, you know what I mean? Man, I love y'all shit. This nigga hit the lottery. His homie hit the lottery. So this is whenever we trying to figure stuff out, we getting laid off from the job. I'm working with one of my partners, washing cars and shit, just doing random stuff. And Kenny, well, that's his name, Kenny. Fuck, I didn't say his name. He hits the lottery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is Eddie's best friend.
Yeah.
So that kind of changes everything, because this isn't necessarily my best friend, but he's Ed's best friend. Me and Eddie are working on a project together.
Yeah.
And when I say lottery, I mean M's, like MMs. So it's things change a little bit. He coming to us what now it's man, what y'all want to do? And it's man, it's what a life raft. It's the overview of this interview is gonna be about God giving life rafts. Whenever you think you drowning, just look for that life raft sometimes, because he might throw, because it was we was floating and Smurf was Smurf was straight up with us, if this don't work, does anybody love whoop-de-whoop, I'm gonna take it to the radio, Greg Street, whoop-de-whoop. If it don't work, I'm gonna drop a bag. If it don't work, that's all I'm gonna do for y'all. You know what I mean? And that was honorable, cool.
Yeah.
It didn't really work. We went separate ways. You know what I mean? So we was just floating. Bro hit the lottery. Thank God, because he come to us man, what y'all want to do, man?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he after some months, he had to get comfortable with the money, because he got stupid rich now. He got so we all of a sudden his whole life flipped. You know what I mean? Whole life flip. McLaren's, Aston Martins. You know what I mean? Damn. Rightfully so. I probably would have done the same shit. So it was just different. And mind you, it wasn't my personal best friend, but it was Eddie's best friend. So we was reaping a lot of the benefits. We finna go out tonight. We finna might go to Onyx, drop 40K it's nothing. Next day might go to Kamal's, back on Kamal's. Kamal, 30K it's nothing. Nothing. It might just be me, my manager. It might just be me, him, and bro, and just on a day shift on any given day, bro, and go just knock out 40, 20, 30, 40K any day, just because he had it. It got crazy, bro. it got crazy. And I remember whenever he finally came to us, and mind you, we still hadn't even got no bread from him on some like investment shit. We was just having a good time, man. And he finally came to us like, man, yo, what y'all want to do? We and like he literally wrote me and my manager a check. It was a big check. I ain't gonna say how much it was, but it was a big check that it was more money than me and him had ever had. So man, like I would never forget that night, man. He like wrote us that check, and he didn't give a fuck. Like he wrote it to us, and he was like, all right, so y'all want to go out now? And so we ended up going to the strip club and probably spending what the check was. You know what I mean? And I'll never forget, my manager had the check in his pocket. I remember every few minutes I kept looking at him, make sure he's still close by. Like, nigga, make sure
don't you try
nowhere here, man. Not the hill, but just make sure, like, make sure you straight.
Get your hand out your pocket, nigga.
But yeah, man. So like that was like our like life raft. He saved us because like we was able to, you know what I mean. I'm gonna say God saved us through him. You know what I mean. Because we was able to start back shooting videos and just be back outside like we had been. You know what I mean. And So we did that and was able to build even more and even more and even more and build up more of a cachet. We put out a project called Culture Junkie, which I would say did pretty well. Like, and we had a little breast. Was able to do like the MTV Jams videos and stuff like that. So all the while the fan base is just building and building and building. Whether it's one person a day, I don't give a fuck. That's progress.
I'm with you.
You know what I mean? So it was just growing like over time, and just, you know, we just, and around like 2015 going into 2016, that's when Sway heard one of my songs, and then they played it on Sway, and then that was kind of like a turn up. And then you know, even through my boy who had hit the lottery, that's a whole nother story in itself, like everything that happened in that. But like around the time where that kind of started to end, because he was doing a lot of stuff. He was investing in working with a lot of people, so we was just like a branch on his tree, you know what I mean? So like around the time whenever that kind of slowed down was when Tip found my video for Lost in the Sauce, which was one of the last things that Kenny helped us pay for, you know what I mean? So it was like a, dang, this the end. You know, he kind of had a lot of stuff going on, and it was like, okay, this isn't a source of like investment money no more, and we don't want to ask for nothing else anyway, because we got to figure out what we doing to switch it up, to figure out why it ain't going how we want.
We got to make this money off of our talents. Right. So, you know, once again, we was feeling like we was back in the water. You know what I'm saying? Back in the water, trying to just swim and figure it out. You know what I mean? And then we had this barber shop, this girl named Amber. Female barbers are the shit too. I don't know if y'all ever had one. They're just the shit. Yeah. But and I don't even have one now, but I had one then. Yeah. And her name Amber, and she also cut Tip hair. Yeah. So we used to go and get our haircuts, and when we finished this project called MAOTP, this is 2016. Before we put it out, my manager Chris took it to the barber and was like, "Hey, next time Tip and them come get their haircut, just slide it to him." You know what I mean? Yeah. And she did it, and she gave it to Tip cousin Javon, and Javon played it for Tip. And fast forward like 2 days later, I'm on the phone with Tip. Mind you, I'm blown away. I'm completely like, damn, man. You know, in my mind, I'm like all the way back from me and Chris trying to meet people here in Atlanta to fast forward. Like, I'm on the phone with the king. He like, it's crazy. He like, man, I heard some of your music, bro. You super talented. Like, I want to link, you know. And even back from there, I'm thinking like, dang, all this from just rapping to ease my mind by my mom, you know what I mean? Which is crazy. And now it's like all the way to this. So like he had a rehearsal with Jeezy for the birthday bash. Like, so this was like 2016, 2017, something like that. And he had a rehearsal that like next day or something like that. So he like, man, pull up to the rehearsal. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, bet. I pull up to the rehearsal, man. And like, it's Jeezy walking around. he like Tip walk up with 2 or 3 people. Like, what's up, man? Like, it was just a wild moment for me, bro. Like, we sat down, chopped it up, and I was like, bro, you owe a nigga like me to the game, man. Yeah. Like, because in my mind, I'm thinking like, you done put out
all these different other type of artists, you know, that you work with, but never artists like me. Probably closest is like B.O.B. But I'm different from Bob too, you know what I mean? So I'm like, man, you owe a nigga. I'm dead ass serious, and he looked at me like,
nigga, I don't know you shit.
Yeah, he looked at me like weird, and I ain't know if he remembered it until like a couple months later after we had already got cool, and we was around Toomp, and then he was introducing me to Toomp, and he was like, man, Shawty said I owe him to the game, bro. Like when he was talking to Toomp, I'm like, okay, he remembered it, you know. So you know, that was like our life raft in of Tip finding us, because Tip was in a space where he was building what he was trying to do gang. Back up. And so for us it like gave us a little bit of structure, because you know, like people say like, oh, do it on your own, you know, you could do it on your, but it helped when you have some type of structure, you know what I mean, or some type of like label structure that can help you get things done.
Exactly.
So
being that Grand Hustle with TIP, man, what was that like, being able to be up close and personal with him? And then what kind of game did he lay on you?
Man, it was amazing. Like when I first, man, I remember just, it was surreal for me when it first happened. It was absolutely surreal, because in my mind, like, I had never really linked with nobody on that level to just be like, I'm fucking with you. Like, here's my number. He call me anytime. You know what I mean? So it was surreal. I remember one of the first times he had reached out to me. He called me like 3 a.m, bro, and I was knocked out sleep. Yeah. And this is, mind you, this at the beginning of everything. So like, I want to make an impression.
You won't answer the damn phone.
I was knocked out sleep and woke up at like 6 a.m. and immediately called him back, like as if that was still gonna be a thing. And then it was like, and he texted me back by like noon that day. It was like, man, I'm way in a whole nother state. But he was like, man, I was hitting you because I was headed to the studio. Yeah. So I'm like, damn. So I'm pissed. I'm like, man, he probably gonna think I ain't a hard. He probably think I was sleep, and sleep is for lazy niggas. Like, he probably thinking like, damn, this ain't gonna work. So but nah, man, we end up still getting in and still working and partnering up. So like we went on tour 2017. Yeah. And man, it was wild for me, man, because when we first got over there, it was like, I'm a solo artist, and I've always been a solo artist. Yeah. And then it was my first time kind of having to move with other people as like a unit. You know what I mean? It was like, he was putting together Hustle Gang.
That's right.
So, it was me, Tokyo Jets, Book, London J. It was a lot of people. And everybody multifaceted, multi-talented. And it was the first time where, we all, I think all of us were kind of like, in like shock a little bit of like, but we merged well. Yeah. We went on tour and we all got on the tour bus together, and it worked. Nobody got into it. Nobody so it was a good collection, you know what I mean? Yeah. And we was able to go around and do Breakfast Club and, Sway. I had already done Sway by myself, but then we went and did Sway again. We was on tour. So just a lot of like big publications, big type of like big looks that we was able to get, Even with the Breakfast Club thing, Charlamagne had found my music and had been showing love and everything. So when we was on like one of our little tours or little get-arounds, we went to the Breakfast Club, and of course all of us can't go to the Breakfast Club. Yeah. But Tip picked me to come because he knew Charlamagne was really, really fucking with me.
The music, yeah.
So he took me in Tokyo. Yeah. So that was a big blessing to be able to go on there, and just a big look, because people back home from Huntsville, Alabama, they
losing
like,
their damn minds.
Damn, you know what I mean? So it all helps. It all helps with the movement,
Answer me this, Translee. For you to be able to come from Huntsville, be down with ColliPark, be down with Grand Hustle, what do you think those major cosigns did for your personal brand all together leading up into now?
It definitely allowed you to charge more. But nah, really, like it. It's always good whenever people that are doing it big and doing exactly what you're trying to do. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like if you tell me you could take ColliPark's career and be done, run it. You know what I mean? Run it. I'll go sit down somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, so, and if you tell me you could take Tip career and be done, run it. I'll go sit down somewhere. So it's like people like that, man, that have done so much. Whenever they take an interest and even go further, take an interest and want to invest in what you got going on, is because I don't care what nobody says. Somebody spend their money on you. I don't care how much money they got.
Come on,
they really fucking with you.
Exactly,
because you know
money's hard earned.
It's hard earned, very hard earned. So you know it's a thing where it's like, man, I don't take it for granted at all, man.
Exactly.
Like I learned a lot. But one of the main things I learned from Tip, man, was it was somebody that he had working with him when we first got around that I personally did. She was just a very hard person to work with. And he needed that, of course, around him, but I didn't understand that. So like she was just very mean, you know what I mean? And like she was a I ain't even gonna say
the real deal.
She was the real fucking deal, man. She was the real deal. And I remember she was making things hard for me. You know what I mean? And I remember talking to Tip, man, and he was like, I was just complaining, like, man, I can't, blah, blah, you know. He like, man, how much money you want to make in this game? 10 million, 100 million? I'm like, 100 million, hopefully, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He like, you think you're gonna make $100 million and never work with nobody and never work with nobody that you don't like?
Come on.
I was like, okay, all right, you know what I mean? Like that was some real shit. Like, man, like real. Don't get caught up in like letting one person fuck up your whole shit. Whenever, just work around them. You know what I mean? So you know that was one of the realest things that he said. Like, exactly.
After moving on from Hustle Gang, what was that like for you making that next transition?
I wouldn't say that I necessarily moved on from Hustle Gang. Hustle Gang kind of moved on from me. Well, no, I ain't even gonna say that because Hustle Gang is still you know a thing. But I think everybody the Trap Music Museum came about, and I think the company kind of took a pivot in that direction because rightfully so, it's a fucking success. It's a major success. And I love the Trap Museum, and like every time I pass by it and it's open, it's wrapped around the building. And so it's a new vibe and a new energy, and it's a dope thing coming from Grand Hustle as a brand. You know what I mean? And so I think when that took off, I think everybody from the label kind of took a pivot, but my personal relationship with Tip has always been the same. He's always supportive. He's always like, man, bro, what you need? Yeah. So you know, that's the dope thing about it. Like, it's not me walking away from Hustle Gang or anything like that. Like, I'm always gonna be Hustle Gang. You know what I mean? Like, he helped us to organize our life in a time where we needed it. You know what I mean? So you know, right now, like I said, remember I said like the whole time we just building fans and building followers. I'm in that space now where we've built up a good fan base. You know what I mean? To build on. You know what I mean? So that's the space. Like, I'm to the point now where I don't even necessarily feel like I need so much like how I used to be looking for a label structure or something to latch on to. I'm less in that space and trying to continue building up the social currency that we built up. You know what I mean? Even you, bro, like with this platform, you building up social currency, bro, that nobody will ever be able to take away from you. Like you said, like whenever ain't no radio station can do nothing because Beehive TV is what's the shit. Because
I own it.
Because you own it.
You see what I'm saying?
So you know, like, we kind of in that space, and Tip fully support it. You know what I mean?
Being independently owned and operated, what is that like for you now? Saying, okay, it's just time for me to put on my overalls and get to work. Yeah. So, man, 2020 was a crazy year. It was crazy for everybody. But it was one of them crazy self-reflection years. I got into a really good relationship though, man, and like me and my girl, man, we had a lot of time to kind of like reflect on our life and where we was at, and like deal with a lot of things, go to therapy, a whole lot of shit. And
through that, I was able to create a brand called Inner Peace Outer Glow, and started about a year ago. Actually, March 8th, 2021 was the day that we started it, and one of my partners got a brand called Life Journey. He let us partner with him, and that's how we started it, and then we eventually branched on to our own stuff, and that brand just kind of like it was like a mission for me, especially when it first started, was to just like help people, because I was dealing with that. Like I realized, like, man, like as an artist, when you selling your music, you're selling yourself. Damn right. So when it don't work, you feel like you're not working. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you work for like a company where y'all sell like a product. So if the product don't work, it's the product. It's not me. Exactly. You know what I mean? But when it's you that's not working. So like, and in this music game, man, there's more failures than wins, bro. It's way more, especially if you're just an artist that been working on your shit for a long time. So after a while, man, it can like take a toll on you, and you can just wear like a depression it's just there. It's just always there, you know what I mean? And it's just for the fact that I ain't made it yet, you know what I mean? Because I might heard a quote, it said, a dream deferred makes the heart sick. And I was like, damn, man, there's some sick hearts out here, especially in cities like this, you know? Exactly. So, you know, I just wanted to be able to push a message like that to make people focus on the inner. Wherever you get it from, you know, mine come from God, but wherever you get it, you know, wherever you get it from, you know, just know that once you focus on that inner peace, that inner well-being, then you're gonna glow how you want to go. It's a lot of people that don't even look to society standards of beautiful, but they're so at peace with themselves that they glow and they get everything they want anyway, you know. So it's like, that's the basis of it.
Answer me this though, Lee. At ColliPark Music, what kept you from making a Booty Shake song? At Grand Hustle, what kept you from making a trap song?
Man, I don't. So I tried to make certain songs. And I'll never forget, I tried to make certain songs. Okay. Like, I remember sitting outside of the Ultimate down on by Camp Creek. Sitting in the car with ColliPark. I made this one song, and it was just so, like, you know, it was just bubblegum. Yeah. And I remember he cut it down because he know what I was doing. Yeah. And he was like, man, you wanna be like everybody else out here, you want to be special or so. He said something like that, man. And he cut it off. Then we hopped out the car. It was just like, it was a part of his day, but that sat with me. I'm like, damn, what am I doing? Why am I trying to make these songs that fit in? They were so hard to make for me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's just because I was trying. Now, like, I can get on any beat now and just do my thing. You know what I mean? But it's like, I was trying to figure it out back then, because it was a different time then, though, man. Like, now it's okay to be a little bit freer in your music. I think back then it was a little, I don't know. It was like
you had to do what you had to do back then. You know, you couldn't just be sitting over here coming in here trying to be outside the box. Right. Like, nigga, get back in this goddamn box with us.
Exactly. And then especially when you work in the fucking DJs. Yeah. So it's like the DJs.
Come on now, with the club scene, you can come in there doing that.
We was getting ran through the ringer. We was paying to get these records played. You know what I mean? And you know, everybody was, you know, that's just you know, but yeah, man. But we learned, you know, we learned what DJs to go rock. We learned what DJs was going that rock with the rap records. You know what I mean? And we wasn't just like Talib Kweli in it. You know what I mean? And shout out to Talib. That's
what up, though, Talib?
Yeah, shout out Talib. He's dope. Yeah. But like, you know, it's just some. I might not look the part, all of that. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes niggas just wasn't trying to play my shit. Yeah.
Yeah, you doing you. Now, when it comes to you now and it comes to this music, do you write for the people or are you writing for yourself to get your stuff off of your chest and your inner peace?
9 times out of 10, I'm writing for myself. Okay. I hate to say it. Yeah. But I'm writing for myself. With that. Because it's literally a release. Yeah. And it's a lot of production too. Like, I got a few producers that like move me. So like whenever I get that production, I can't go to sleep until I pen something to it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, but it comes in different, inspiration come in different ways though. Yeah.
Do you ever feel any regrets about those different situations that you've been in along the way? Do you feel like you could have done anything differently to change the trajectory of your career along the way besides what you did?
All the time.
And what would you have did different though?
Man, during the ColliPark days, I would have found a way to look the part more. Cause I used to be getting off work sometimes, and like we could wear what we want to wear in the vault, but you know I would just have a little dingy shirt and some jeans or something. But then I had to like leave work and go straight to
the club.
Straight to the club or straight to open mic, and I would just go sometime, and then it just be like, you know, it just be like, who is this? You know what I mean? So I would have understood what it meant when they'd be like, oh, she's a star, or he's a star. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would have understood that. Now I don't give a fuck. Like I don't even give a fuck. Zero fucks, bro. But then it meant a lot more. It still means a whole lot now. But I would have done more in that space. And whenever ColliPark was like, keep your job, I would have fought more to be like, nah, fuck that, man. Give me, let me turn up. You know what I mean? Because that was keeping me, like when you at work all day long, and then you get out trying to rap and be, and then it just wasn't it wasn't adding up. But so I would have done that, and then. In the lottery situation, if I could go back now, I would have just bought Bitcoin with that shit, bro. Cause man,
I'm with you.
Would have bought straight Bitcoin, dog. I might not be sitting right here with you right now, You'd be
on Mars.
Yeah, I'd be on Mars somewhere, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you, man, cause that literally $1,000 in 2014, you have like about $1 billion probably, bro.
My God.
Yeah, it's stupid.
So now I know you got another show on the way. Mm-hmm. What's going on?
Big show coming up in Huntsville. So,
talk to me.
So my hometown, Huntsville, Alabama. Shout out to the good folks at the Orion Amphitheater. So they're building this big amphitheater in my hometown, and like it looks like something from the like Roman times, like something. You know what I mean? It's
the Coliseum.
Coliseum. It's a big Coliseum.
Yeah.
And the opening weekend, I'm booked to do a show. Shout out to Element 11. That's the band that's gonna be performing with me, and it's a lot of other artists performing. The Neighbors, Deacon Sue, a lot of people that's from my hometown that are just like legends and really dope at what they do. They booked us to do opening weekend, so it's gonna be big, man. Like I heard, like already like 2,500 tickets. So
my God.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a major event in Huntsville. So that's on. I don't know when this interview dropping, but May 15th.
Okay,
so
it's dropping damn sure before then. Cricket Wireless.
Yeah.
The bag. What's happening?
Yeah. So man, so we just did a partnership with them, man, for Black History Month.
That's hard.
Yeah, so they picked 4 companies across the nation to highlight for just, you know, I guess just black excellence or whatever.
Yeah.
So Inner Peace Outer Glow was able to be highlighted. And so we were able to take over their socials and their stuff on their website and stuff like that to push the brand, man, and push, you know, what we're trying to promote. So now that was super dope. Shout out to Cricket.
Facts. For you, Translee, what else do you got on the way? And is there anything that you want to let your fans know off in this thing, man?
Man, so Feed We is out right now.
That's right.
And also a joint project with Jabo and J. Rain. It's called We the People.
We the People.
We are just 3 Alabama cats, man, who really been out here doing what we do, man, and we got a story to tell. And man, we really got in the studio on some real cool shit, bro. And it's almost like you gotta play this on like a vinyl. It's just some cool rap, man, some dope shit. We ain't yelling at you or nothing like that, man. Just some cool adult rap, man, for sure. So check that out. And I got a lot of music dropping, man. Like I said, I just put out Feed We, man, but we about to just start sprinkling breadcrumbs to the album.
Okay.
So it's gonna be a lot of music coming.
When it comes to your music though, Translee, how much music do you got in the vault, man? And are you crazy enough to go on a future run and just drop every 5 minutes?
Man, we can do that. We can do that right about now. But I like letting the music sit with people a little bit. Like I still ain't with that just throwing it out there because it's like it just falls on a lot of lost deaf ears, man. Yeah. And the way the algorithm is now, bro, you gotta post and then repost and then repost and then repost because it's like a whole new group of people gonna see it every time.
Exactly.
So. It's just like it's the name of the game now. So we just making our way through it.
I can dig it. How can these folks contact you though, man?
All social media platforms, Translee, Translee. And innerpeace.outerglow on Instagram, and innerpeace.outerglow on Facebook, Twitter, everything, and Translee on Discord, and yeah, man, we just pushing the brand, pushing the movements, and trying to stay positive out here because it's a wild world, dog.
You ain't never lied.
It's wild, man.
You ain't never lied. Yeah. Translee.
And man, shout out to my boy New Face, man.
What up, though?
Who stay out here, man, pushing the culture
the line,
forward.
The culture, and everybody.
Forward, yeah.
We see your face looking like the Godfather back there. I ain't mad at you.
Go ahead.
Go ahead and do what you do.
I was thinking like I ain't done enough to get a Beehive interview yet, but my boy New Face got me in here. So
New Face gonna make it shake every damn time.